Yeah.
What do you like about living in Astoria?
The weather, the people. Um, the sad thing is, I have a feeling I'm going to have to end up going back to Boise because there are no resources for the homeless here. There's very little available.
What's been offered to you so far?
Oh no, that was just one of you guys.
Well, I spent Jonathan. I spent 4 months at the mission. Um, but they're crazy religious, which is really weird coming from me because I'm a Bible thumper too.
Uh-huh.
My Bible's well worn.
Different style.
Yeah, they're just really controlling. They don't want happy Christians; they want obedient Christians. Um, I figured they've probably just been through a lot of stuff, a lot of people, a lot of harassment. I left Wednesday. Sunday before that, the house manager got stabbed.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, he tried to kick a guy out, and he didn't want to go, so he stabbed it 4 times. I was there. I witnessed that, and that was not pretty.
Stayed for quite a few years.
Well, yeah, Steve had been there 4 years. The guy that went to kick out, he'd been there 4 years. And they said, well, we're going to search everybody's stuff, and he says, well, you're not searching my stuff. Well, I guess he had a gang of knives. That's why he didn't want going through his stuff. I know for a fact I don't want to be homeless. I get Social Security. I get $700 a month.
Uh-huh.
I just can't afford to live on it.
Can I ask, what was your source of Social Security?
Disability.
Is it like service related or?
No, I have physical and mental issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that had to go fight for their Social Security for 3. I fought for 3 months, and they gave it to me. Yeah, it's pretty hard for some folks, but I went and got a lawyer.
When I got my SSI, before I got my pension from the military, I went down there on the first of 1 month. I had a check the next month.
Wow.
Well, I didn't file for it until I reached Section 65. That way I was automatically on it. And then I filed for my pension from the military and got it. So they dropped the SSI.
Shelter. I think shelter. I mean, because, the last few days we've had some pretty nice weather. But when it rains here, it rains. Yeah. I went down, I pawned my tablet and my telephone, which I didn't have service on the phone anyway, so I could go down to the deals only and buy a couple of tarps. Another guy that I was rolling with, I bought him a tarp too, because when it rains here, it rains. And you don't want to get wet. Well, I have arthritis, so it caused me to really stiffen up.
Yeah.
What I like about here is it doesn't get as cold as it does in Idaho. And that's, like I say, that's where I'm originally from, yeah. Well, it's not drier. It is drier there. We get a lot of snow and stuff, but you don't get the precipitation like you do here.
Morning, Rick.
The nice thing is here you don't have to shovel it. In Idaho, you got to shovel it.
Right. It's totally different.
You see anything left on that smoke?
Yeah, over in Idaho, you got to shovel it.
Yeah. And like I say, I'm going to end up going back to Boise because there's a mission there that's not this way. Plus, there are more resources, for eating and stuff like that. There's not really much more for shelter, to be honest with you.
Sweet.
Well, if the mission here was more of a mission and not a discipleship training program, that would help. Because, like I say, they're all about Christianity, and like I say, that's it's not going to kill me. I'm a Bible thumper. This man is too. We're just fellow Christians, but I'm trying to think what would help. Cheap housing. Affordable housing would help considerably. So like I say, I make $700 a month, but I can't afford to get into a place.
Yeah.
There's not a chance in the world I can do it. That's a very good question, sir.
I don't think there is any.
I don't think so either. To be completely honest with you, I don't think there's any place that's cheap enough for people with. And I'm not the only one. I have a friend in Boise who I'm going to end up hooking up with. We've been roommates before, but she gets $700 a month too. It takes between the two of us just to survive. Neither one of us can make it on our own. And that's what we're going to end up doing. We've already talked about it. Her daughter is in Portland, but her son, who's a meth baby, he's got some issues. He's in Idaho, and she doesn't want to leave him. She wants to stay close to Jesse, which I understand. I respect that. It would be better for her if she did cut him a little more line.
Yeah.
But what can you do with a mom? Moms are moms.
Kill their kids.
And my mom gets excited when I send her. I color pictures like owls and stuff like that. I've got my stuff up spot.
Oh yeah.
And I just mail it to her, and she gets a big old kick out of it. She puts it up on her walls because I do bright colors. So it brightens her day. She loves it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a little thing, but she gets a kick out of it. It makes me happy because it makes her happy. Oh, it is gorgeous. I wanted to retire here. That was my plan. I lived here back in the 90s, and a tree fell on my mom's house back in 99. So I went back, I cut the tree off, and it took me 20 years to get back here. This is where I wanted to retire. I got hooked up with another lady who was on Social Security. I thought everything was going good. And we ended up with a place over in CV, Washington. But like I say, it took both of our incomes to make it happen. But we got into a place in CV, Washington, just a little fifth wheel trailer. And then our relationship fell apart. And so basically the way she made her rent was to sell all of my stuff. I had a bunch of tools and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And she sold all my stuff, and now she's probably going to be out too. Well, I'm a retired mechanic and warehouseman. The arthritis started getting so bad, my dexterity started going, so I didn't have the mechanical abilities that I used to. So I went into warehousing, which really sucks. Got arthritis in my back too. But in Idaho, I foreman one warehouse, I managed another, so apparently I'm good with numbers. But I didn't work any place long enough to build up any retirement. I could handle part-time work. I could handle 20 to 30 hours a week. Physically, I can't do a full 40. But if I could find something like that, I'd be more than happy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because right now I'm personally homeless and whatnot, and it's the second time. I just keep going back and forth to this little fishery, because it's a simple small town, and places with paper applications are pretty rare and far between. But having a place you can go and shower and just clean up real quick, and then be able to go to work. That would be super cool.
Well, that's what the mission was supposed to be about.
Yeah, but they're a bunch of typical schmucks.
Yeah, they're out of control.
Oh, I mean, I've seen places like it. A lot of the capital cities is what you see. When I've traveled, all the big capital cities usually have the most homeless stuff, from like showering to churches to meals all around town.
That's why I'm going back to Boise. It's capital. Yeah,
exactly.
They got resources.
Yep.
They have a day shelter. Well, they have a shelter there you can stay at if you're sober. They have a day shelter. It's open 6 days a week. They have showers. They feed twice a day. You don't have that here. You have the mission that feeds 3 times a day, and that's it. The church I go to is First Baptist up here. They have a clothing room too. The mission has a clothing room.
Yeah.
The church has a clothing room. They'll help you get a suit and stuff for interviews and stuff. So there are some resources, but just not much. I would really like to see that Helping Hands up and running.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that yellow building down there, they bought it, and they're just working on getting it going. That would help considerably. This man right here, he could use a place where he can go sleep and shower and work a job and stuff, and that's what Helping Hands down the Seaside tries to do. I'm really excited to see him get this one open. I'll be gone by then, but yeah. Well, and I've noticed. Well, I lived here for 3.5 years before. I was down the Seaside. In the summertime, a lot more homeless people come here because the weather is a lot more, it's nicer. The thing that sucks is, like I say, they don't really have a lot of resources here. And the homeless end up getting a bad rap because you'll have 2 or 3 guys who are starving, and they'll go out and they'll rob somebody or rip somebody off, like that. And then next thing you know, the community is thinking that everybody's like that. All the homeless are. We're not. Well, see, I've talked to a lot of guys who are out here because of doing drugs. I quit doing drugs 20 years ago. So that's not my story. But there are other people that is their story. You're right. Everybody's got a story, man. This guy's got a story too. Rock in a hard place. Rock in a hard place.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, I had to come to Astoria, Oregon. Okay, here's the rest of my story. I had to come to Astoria, Oregon, and move in with a friend of mine that I went to high school with, so I could get off the dope. I called him up and I said, "Man, I'm strung out. I can't take it." And he said, "Go ahead and come." He said, "Go ahead and come over here and stay with us." So I stayed here. I stayed with him for a couple of months. Got on my feet. There's an ugly one. Got on my feet, and I was able to, but I was able to work too. So I was working at a couple of different canneries and bartending and stuff. And now it's not quite. I don't have that available to me anymore. I don't have the poop in me anymore to pull a 40-hour day job, a 40-hour week job.
Getting off dope?
Yeah.
What kind of dope?
Getting off of it.
White or black or anything
Well, for me, it was meth.
Going to jail is what starts you in the first place.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking want to quit, and you have to pretty much completely fall in your ass.
Well, that's what it was. I was just telling this man I had to move in with a buddy of mine from high school just to get off of it.
Yeah, I've done it.
Honestly, I think everybody has a different bottom.
20-some years.
Everybody's got a different bottom.
What it is I've been on some kind of dope all my life. But you turn into an addictive personality. Jump from one thing to another, and it doesn't bother you, I put myself in the rehab in a 28-day place, and they kicked me out the door because I was an alcoholic, bad.
You're still an alcoholic.
They told me, yeah, time for you to leave. You're cured. Baloney, you know.
Well,
I signed into White City and I stayed there for 9 months. And guess what I did when I walked straight out the door?
Got loaded.
Went straight to a bar.
There's a place called Intermountain Hospital in Boise, and they have a really good rehab program if you have insurance. I went in there. I was there for 13 days, drying out from alcohol. 13 days, and they came back and they came to me and said, "Roll up your stuff, you're cured." I'm like, "What? You told me it was a 30-day program." They said, "Oh, well, it is a 30-day program, but your insurance ran out." Exactly. So as soon as I ran out of insurance money, I was out the door. I was cured.
Nobody can tell you.
Said I was cured.
I was cured. That's what they told me. They said I was cured.
Nobody can tell you to quit doing drugs.
Was that
you have to want to do it yourself.
Like,
they
can't
can't do nothing for you. I mean, they keep you away from it and put you in a different, type style, of where you're living or whatever.
Well, you asked a question, and I think I got to give you an honest answer, because to be honest with you, I think most people get off of dope when they go to jail. Well, unfortunately, it does seem to work, though. I don't know of any programs in this area. Are there any rehabs in this area?
Yeah, there's not rehab.
There probably is, but I don't know where.
There's AAA and all that.
Yeah, that worked really well for me.
Well, they should have. I almost died a few times.
That will help take the shakes off some people and help them get off of it.
What, alcohol or heroin?
For heroin.
Yeah, Suboxone. Yeah.
You're in the wrong place. You should be doing it oxygen because there is heroin around here. It's twice the price of Portland, so it's we're talking. It costs $150 for 3 grams in Portland, when it costs $100 here for a gram. I found out I buy all this booze, and then I find out I've got to go to court tomorrow. I haven't even been able to drink again. I'm going crazy the last day and a half. Nothing. I don't really go through. It's all in your head. I mean, I've got off it. Look at this though.
You get the bad shake. I was like, oh, fuck.
I don't get
those. Rick down here when I had a couple of bucks, and he was like this. It's like, dude, you need it worse than I do.
At one time, about 10 years ago, I blew a 5.8.
I don't get that one.
Huh?
5.8. I blew a 3.839, man.
Yeah, I was polluted.
Well, 6. Yeah, apparently it's 6.
Actually, they let me out of jail. So. They were afraid I was going to go through some kind of weird detox and die on them or something, and they let me out of jail. I was still blowing a 2.5. They even took me to the hospital and had blood drawn to make sure the machine was right. They're banging on it.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out the 5.8 because
that's a lot.
Okay, well,
you know what you have to do.
Here's another wonderful story. This is a professional alcoholic I am.
Half a gallon of vodka.
I'm out on parole for a DUI, in Idaho. I was out on parole. I did a year. I was out on parole for a DUI. Well, I went to a birthday party, friend's house. I drank a fifth and a pint. I blew a 3.839. The cops trying to figure it out because I was still driving straight down the road. He didn't pull me over for weaving and bobbing. He pulled me over because he couldn't read the tag in my window. I just bought the car. So he recalibrated the machine because he said, "Man, this can't be right." He said, and I'm sitting there, I'm talking to him, carrying on a conversation with him, and he goes, "Seriously, are you this drunk?" And I said, "Not yet. If you hadn't stopped me, I probably would have because I still had another pint."
about the pot.
You know, but